Hey guys, this is Etho, and this is a very important moment for me right now that I wanted to share with you guys. By now you've probably seen my cannon, but this is my first test launch of it. It's finally at the point where I can try to see if it actually works, which is kind of significant. Cannon's not fully done yet, but it should launch, I think. All the wiring's done, the timer's done. I just have to make some polishing touches to it yet. And as you can see, the lava down there is not igniting the TNT up here, like many of you were concerned about for some reason. I don't think that's a problem, because the embers can't fly that high. Things I am concerned about is if the TNT from the boosters here is going to destroy my base. I doubt it will, but it might. You never know. And another thing I'm worried about is if I built my base low enough, because if it's not low enough, when the TNT goes off down there, I'm going to receive damage up on the platform here, and I might have to lower the base. Anyway, it's fully loaded, and hopefully there'll be no problems and I can finish it up then. So here's to the first launch, guys. Right on. That's what I wanted to see. Couldn't have asked for it better. This is a backup, by the way. This isn't TNT from my stash. Sweet. Alright, on with the episode. Alright, here we are again, back in the real world. We're probably done with the nether for at least a few days now. Start doing some stuff in the real world again here. At some point this week I'll probably build another 360 cannon, a normal type, and I'll use this timer here, so I'm not going to remove this until I do that, and then I'll make a tutorial as I build that cannon as well for you guys. So that's something I'm going to do. One question you guys had was how to handle misloaded TNT in the nether cannon. That's a pretty good question. It's something I never really thought about while I was building it, but definitely became an issue once I had it all done. I don't know if this still works, but in the past there was a really cool trick you could do. I think it might have been fixed though. Before, if you had a soil block and say a TNT above it, I'll just use a cobblestone for this test. Pretend this cobblestone is TNT. You were able to use your mum on the soil and then plant a seed if you aimed like right here on top of the soil block. No, I guess it doesn't work anymore. But that used to destroy the block above it. Even if it was bedrock, any block it would destroy. But I guess that's fixed now. So some other ideas I had for let's pretend this torch here is redstone, and you misload it by placing the TNT above the redstone. What do? You remove the redstone near it, and I think you just place slabs all around it. On top, And I think that'll absorb most of the blow. Okay, I got 4 torches here. Let's see how many get destroyed. Yeah, just the one. So I think it blows out like a 3 by 3 by 3 area. So that's a pretty safe way of getting rid of TNT. I want to see what happens if you do solid. See if it makes any difference. Oh, I guess I need some way to detonate it though. Okay, and then I'm going to place soil around it so we can visualize what happens better. It'll probably work the same, I'm guessing. But it's always nice to try things out. Did it damage me? Ooh. Okay, well that didn't work nearly as well. It actually blew up part of my timer here. So, stick with the half slabs, I guess. Darn it, now I need to fix that. Okay, I'll do that, I'll clean this up later. Okay, so this might be a little bit confusing, but if you divert your attention to the top left of the screen, you will see I am now in 1.5_01. The first 5 minutes or so of the video was from 1.4, and I've already recorded an episode in 1.5, so what happened is I recorded those 5 minutes from first 5 minutes of this episode from the 1.4 patch still. I recorded a whole episode and then I scrapped most of it because I had an issue with something. And before I could finish up the episode with more footage, the 1.5 patch came out, and I wanted to cover a whole episode on it. And I did. And so I still have some footage from before that. And what happened is I was working on this road thing here I'm about to show you as a possible concept for SMP servers, instead of having the regular paths that interconnect all the houses with each other and direct people around the server. You know how you have those paths? They're usually 4 or 5 blocks wide. And I thought, hey, why not put water on one side going one way and water on the other side going the other way? And you can get around a lot faster, right? That was the idea. And you can make it go uphill, you can make it go downhill, you can do all kinds of stuff with it, right? Yeah, so I did a test, and I found out walking with the water is actually slower than walking just normally. I figured that out at the end of the episode, so this whole idea was stupid. So, it's a waste of an episode. I found out that walking in water, you travel roughly 3 3/4 blocks per second, and walking normally you travel 4 1/4 blocks per second. So walking is slightly faster than walking with the water current, which is very... It doesn't make sense, but that's notch logic for you, right? And I also found out that if you just sit in the water like this and have it pull you, you go about 1.8 blocks per second. But yeah, I decided not to spend the whole episode on this since it didn't work. So that's what I figured out. I'm going to show you what I've been doing with the minecarts. Alright, this is something I was messing around with today. I still haven't had a whole lot of time to play since the patch came out. But last episode I was messing around with the door booster because for some reason, I think I read it or I either watched a video on it, but someone said that you can't have these power rails on slopes or on curves, and silly me, I didn't even try to see if that was true. So I've got a lot of feedback on this. Thank you, everybody. Yes, it is possible, and that's a good way to launch carts. Makes things a lot simpler. Well, I'll just show you this. I was working on making like a buffer, kind of like a Pez dispenser, except spread out horizontally. That doesn't require the old boosting style to get going. Because you can hook up, you can mix these new booster rails with Pez dispensers, which is cool. But it requires both boosting styles to work. So I wanted to make one that holds each of the carts individually, spread out horizontally. Each one of these is 4 blocks apart, so it's not super compact, but it's nice. And they look really cool when they go. I like that. What is going on here is there's a detector here. Okay, well, the button first powers this power rail here. The cart goes, it hits the detector. This detector is connected with a 2-torch delay to this power rail here that this cart's on. And then this cart triggers this detector, and then on the opposite side, same thing. Goes here to the next power rail, and so on and so forth. So you can keep doing this basically infinitely for as many carts as you want. I thought this was a good idea, but it has some serious flaws that I overlooked. If you send out 2 carts at once, you got problems, because this is off. So that messes it up. Then it starts going the wrong way. Just a total disaster. Same thing if you add carts. Like if I have 4 carts going in here, I'm gonna have problems. So ideally what I want this to be doing, just a sec here. This is how you load it. Ideally what I would like this to be doing, if there was no cart here. Okay, let's say there's no cart here. This should be powered. No. There's only 1 cart here, no carts here. Ideally, this one should be powered on, and this one should be off. Because this one should detect that there's no cart here, and be on, and when the cart moves to here, it would go off. That's what I would like it to do. But there is no way, I've messed around with this, there's no way to have a minecart on one of these power rails and one of these detectors at the same time without getting launched off. And there's no way even to have it, a minecart on a power rail and a regular pressure plate at the same time either. I tried lots of different ways and I just couldn't get it to work. So the only way to do this properly is to use RS NOR latches for each of these, and it would just take up so much wiring and become so complicated that I'm just going to use PEZ dispensers for the storage room, is what I figured out. I'm going to show you this next thing. It turned out a little bit better. Let's go to day though. It seems like everything I try to make with minecarts doesn't turn out for some reason. And like everything I make with boats always works, no matter how ridiculous it is. But this turned out kind of. It's a little bigger than I was hoping it would be. This is actually one of the most complicated redstone circuits made fairly simple with minecarts. This is right now it's a base 3 memory unit. So I'm just going to start it here. Right now this torch is on. It's a counter is what it is. And so when you press a button, it's going to advance forward one. So now when we check here, it's at the second one. Press it again, it'll be at the third one. And you can keep chaining them for as many as you want, and ideally you would have it loop back and start over. This would be very useful for making 7-segment displays. The Xbox Nut actually made something very similar to this out of my boat memory thing. I gave him the suggestion to make a base 10 counter memory unit, and it turned out pretty good. It's a little bit bigger than this would be if you use minecarts now. I'll link it in the description of this video. So I might make a tutorial on this. I'll try to explain this the best I can. So one application for this is to represent numbers. If you set up 10 of these pressure plate unit things, they're 4 blocks each apart. So if you made 10 of them, it would be, ideally you would have 5 on one side of this inside track and 5 on the other side, and you would make it go loop around the inside track, and you would move this holding thing to the side or something. Yeah, you could represent a number from 0 to 9, like this would be 0, this would be 1, 2, all the way to 9. When it gets to 9, it would loop back to 0 again. And if you had 2 of these base 10 units, you could represent a number from 0 to 99. 3, you could represent a number from 0 to 999, and so forth and so on. So it's pretty cool. It's not an easy thing to do in Minecraft. So what happens is, I don't know why this is powered right now, it's not supposed to be. The power rails are still pretty glitched. But yeah, so the cart would go around once and it would push the cart from this pressure plate. When the cart's on this pressure plate, it lights this up. And then it would fall down to here and get stuck on this slope. And then when the cart goes around to this detector, it sends a signal to all, if you had 10 of them, it would send it to all 10 of the power rails down here on the slope. And then it shoots the minecart up to the next pressure plate and stops. And it'll go again the next time the cart goes around. So pretty cool counter. I will also be using this in my secret project, which I'll hopefully get to soon. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be very complicated and very cool, hopefully, if it turns out. It's going to be a collection of so many complicated things. Minecarts, boats, redstone, music, TNT. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to check the time and we might do some other stuff yet. I think it's about 20 minutes in. But it's late here, so I think I'm going to pretty much end it here. So that I can get the episode out today. We're just going to do something really simple. You guys have commented that the stairs do not let light pass through anymore. Unless they were there before the patch. Not too happy about that. What do you want? But like a lot of things, I should probably test it myself just to make sure. So, let's see if it's true or not. That doesn't look good. Darn it. Yeah, it's true. That sucks. Actually, you know what happened? I was like standing right here, and I was looking at my inventory, and I heard these doors open. And I thought it was one of these wolves. I go off the inventory, and I look, and there's a creeper right here. He was walking towards me, but the door shut before he made it out to me. Otherwise, he would have blew up my house. So I'm guessing somewhere in my storage room here now it's dark enough for them to spawn, which I'm not happy about at all. Yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. I'll probably do one of those challenge videos again soon, and a bunch of tutorials, and then I'll do another LP episode, I think. And there's something wrong with the trees there. What is that about? It's still light there. That's new, for me anyway. The lighting seems to be pretty slow. Okay, see you guys.